Hi, this is Santu Sahu. Welcome once again to my YouTube channel SAHOO'S tutorial. In this YouTube video, I will discuss some multiple choice question on English literature, UGC NET, Wbset. I am conducting 500 MCQ series for West Bengal SET examination. So this is the first video of this series. So without wasting any time, let's begin the video. So here is the first question on your screen. Please do answer. Which play of Ibsen was made into a film by Satyajeet Roy? Which play of Ibsen was made into a film by Satyajeet Roy? Options are A Doll's House, An Enemy of the People, Ghosts, The Master Builder. Ghost, The Master Builder, An Enemy of the People, Doll's House. So the option number B here, that An Enemy of the People, is the right option here. That was published in the year 1882, and Satyajit Roy made a film of this Ibsenian play, that was published in the year 1882, and where the main protagonist is Dr. Stockman, that is Stockman. Okay, let's have a look here. An Enemy of the People, that was published in the year 1882, speaking the language of comic exaggeration through the mouth of his spokesman, that means Ibsen's spokesperson or the spokesman, the idealist doctor, that is Thomas Stockman. So Dr. Thomas Stockman is the protagonist of this play. So Stockman, it concerns the actions of Dr. Thomas Stockman, a medical officer charged with inspecting the public baths on which the prosperity of his native town depends. And he finds that the water to be contaminated, that means the water to be polluted. Where he refuses to be silenced, he is declared when he refuses to be silenced, he is declared an enemy of the people. So what the story is about, that when the protagonist Thomas Stockman was inspecting the water where the prosperity of the native depends, okay, and he found that the water was polluted, the water was contaminated. So when he refuses to be silenced, okay, that means he started to raise voice against this, but he is declared by the authority that he is an enemy of the people. So in this play we will see that Dr. Stockman is a brave man who tries to do the right thing amid extreme social intolerance. So in the middle of the social intolerance, he was trying to fight, okay, he was a brave man. And it is a criticism of democracy, okay. In the Ibsenian play you will find that he was criticizing the theme of democracy in this play. So it was about an enemy of the people, that was published in the year 1882. So now move to the next slide. Who wrote The Confession of Sultana Daku? This is a historical novel. Who wrote The Confession of a Sultana Daku? Yeah. So in UP it was, okay. The options are Arun Joshi, Mahesh Dattani, Sujit Saraf, Meena Alexander. Arun Joshi, Mahesh Dattani, Sujit Saraf, Meena Alexander. So the option, that is option number C, that is Sujit Saraf, is the right option here. So Sujit Saraf wrote the historical novel, that is The Confession of Sultana Daku. That was published in the year 2009. And you know that Meena Alexander, diasporic writer, Meena Alexander was a diasporic writer, Indian diasporic writer. Okay, now let's move to the next slide. Question number 3. Which Indian publisher did commence, that means did start, the publication of a series of modern Indian novels in English translation in the year 1996? So in which year? In the year 1996. An Indian publisher commenced the publication of a series of modern Indian novels, and by 2003 it had published 80 of repute from almost all Indian languages. By 2003 it was able to publish 80 famous novels, okay, in almost all Indian languages. So 80 works. So the options are Asia Publishing House, Macmillan India, Jaico, or Arnold Honeyman. So the option number B, that is Macmillan India, that was published, that was commenced in the year 1996. First it started to publish 1996, and by 2003 it had published 80 of repute from almost all languages. So the option number B here, that is Macmillan India, is the right option. Okay, now move to the question number 3. Which of the following play begins with these words: good morning to the day, and next my gold, open the shrine that I may see my saint. So which of the play begins with these lines, that is good morning to the day and next my gold, open the shrine that I may see my saint? So the options are here: the Poetaster, Cynthia's Revels, Volpone, the Alchemist. The Poetaster, Cynthia's Revels, Volpone, the Alchemist. So the option number C, that is the Volpone, is the right answer. Volpone is the right answer. Okay. Now move to the next question. Question number 5. The theaters were reopened in 1660. The theaters were in India, in Britain. The theaters were reopened in 1660. When were they closed last? Options are 1666, 1642, 1650, 1652. It is very easy that theatre was first closed in the year 1642, and when the restoration took place in 1660, it was opened in 1660. So the option number B here, that is theatre was closed in the year 1642, is the right answer. Okay, now move to question number 6. The circulating library. Now what is circulating library? The circulating libraries were popular during which time? Circulating libraries were popular during which time? The 18th century, the 17th century, 19th century, or both? A and C. 17th century, 18th century, 19th century, or both? A and C. So circulating libraries were popular during 18th century and 19th century. So the option number D, that is both A and C, that is 18th century as well as 19th century, during that time the circulating libraries were very famous or very popular. Okay, now look at here, what is circulating library? A circulating library, also known as lending library, यानी उधार देना, and or rental library, that lend, जो उधार देता है books to subscribers, and was first and foremost a business venture. The intention was to profit from lending books to the public for a fee. कुछ पैसा देके क्या देना? बुक देना. जिसके पास एफर्ट नहीं था बुक खरीदने के लिए, वो क्या होता, एक वेब लाइब्रेरी से और दूसरा लाइब्रेरी तो क्या होता, एक बुक को सर्कुलर होता, इसलिए उसका नाम दिया गया क्या? अ सर्कुलेटिंग लाइब्रेरी. Circulating libraries offered an alternative in the 18th and 19th centuries to the large number of readers who couldn't afford the price of new books, but also desired to quench their desire for a new material. So what was the thing, that they have the wish, they have the desire to read, but they have no money, so they could not afford money to buy books. That's why the books were being circulated from one library to another library. So circulating libraries were important cultural institutions in Britain as well as in America during 18th and 19th centuries, affording the rich middle class access to a broad range of reading material including poetry, plays, histories, biography, philosophy, travels, especially fictions. So this was all about a circulating library that was popular in the century 18th and 19th century. Okay, let's move to the next question. Question number 7. Now what is the closed heroic couplet? Yeah, so the closed heroic couplet used by Pope, that is Alexander Pope, the closed heroic couplet used by Alexander Pope is unique. Why it is unique? Because the options are here. The two lines act as a stanza. It makes use of an end stop first line. Every line contains a caesura, all the above. The two lines acts as a stanza. It makes use of an end stopped first line. Every line contains a caesura. So heroic couplet is closed heroic couplet. All the option, that is D, all the above is true. All these options are true. So that was okay, unique. It was introduced by Pope here, the closed heroic couplet. Okay, now move to question number 8. Which of these works by Indian writers doesn't have the Naxalite movement? the Naxalite movement as a background? Which of these works by Indian writers doesn't have the Naxalite movement as a background? The options are Mother of 1084, that is Hazar Churashir Ma. In Bengali it is called Hazar Churashir Ma. Mother of 1084, and the Lives of Others, the Hungry Tides, the Lowland. Okay, now Mother of Hazar Churashi, that is, it was written by Maheshwara Devi. Then Lives of the Others, it was written by Neel Mukherjee. The Hungry Tides was written by the writer of the Shadowlands, that is Amitabh Ghosh, and the Lowland was written by Jhumpa Lahiri. So which of these works by Indian writers doesn't have the Naxalite movement? So we know that Mother of Hazar Churashi, it has the movement, Naxalite movement. The Lives of Others, it has also the background of Naxalite background, and the Lowland also has a Naxalite movement. But the option that is C, that is the Hungry Tides. The Hungry Tides. So this is not the novel, that does not belong to the Naxalite movement. So, and the Lives of Others, it was written by Neel Mukherjee. This novel was written, it was shortlisted for a Booker Prize. It was shortlisted for Booker Prize. Okay, the Lives of Others by Neel Mukherjee. This novel, that is the Lives of the Others, was shortlisted for Booker Prize. So it was written by Neel Mukherjee. The Hungry Tides, you know that Hungry Tides, the famous novel by Amitabh Ghosh, where the characters like Piali Roy, Fakir appears, and it was Piali Roy, Fakir appears, and it is about the setting was Sundarban. The setting of Hungry Tides was the Sundarban, and the Lowland is written by whom? The Lowland is written by Jhumpa Lahiri, and that was published in USA. Jhumpa Lahiri was published in US. Jhumpa Lahiri's novel, that is the Lowland, was published in US. Okay, now move to the next question. No, sorry, it's not. Sorry, I will have to check it. So Jhumpa Lahiri, the Lowland was written by Jhumpa Lahiri. Okay, now move to next question. Which of the following tale, Chaucer's tale, is in prose? Options are Spardan's tales, the Cook's tales, the Prior's tales, the Parson's tales. Which of the following Chaucer's tale is in prose? So the option number D here, that is the Parson's tale. Parson's tale is in prose. The Parson's tale is in prose. Okay, now move to question number 12. Yeah, the Forest of Arden. This is the setting. The Forest of Arden. This is the setting of which play of Shakespeare? The Forest of Arden appears in which of the following play of Shakespeare? Now options are Twelfth Night, Midsummer Night's Dream, As You Like It, The Comedy of Errors. So the option that is As You Like. The Forest of Arden appears in the comedy, that is As You Like It. Okay, now move to the next question. If music be the food of love, play on. And which Shakespearean play begins with this line? As You Like It, yeah, Twelfth Night, Midsummer Night's Dream, Measure for Measure. And it's a dark comedy. Measure for Measure. It's a dark comedy. Written dark play. The dark play by Shakespeare. So As You Like It, Twelfth Night, Midsummer Night's Dream. Where in Midsummer Night's Dream you will find the character Puck appears. The famous character Puck appears, and Hippolyta and Theseus are the main characters, and where the characters like Hermia, Lysander, Demetrius appears. Midsummer Night's Dream, Twelfth Night, or As You Like It. So the option that is Twelfth Night, that is option number B here, Twelfth Night, is the right answer. So music be the food of love, play on. So the play begins with that is the 12th night is the option, right answer. Who translated his own theatre company? Shatabdi, as a third theatre group? Which one of these translated his own theatre company Shatabdi as a third theatre group? So here Girish Karnad, Vijay Tendulkar, Mahesh Dattani, Badal Sarkar. So the option is Badal Sarkar. That is Badal Sirkar or Badal Sarkar. This one, it was this Badal Sarkar who popularized and his own company, that is theatre company Shatabdi, as a third theatre group. So the Badal Sarkar is the but it was the third theater was coined by another one, but he did not coin the third theater. Rather, Eugenio, we will read this. Eugenio coined this. So Badal Sarkar, his own theater company Shatabdi was translated into third theater group. So this is the right answer. We're going to move to question number 15. The character Sampath Chawla. The character Sampath Chawla, the character appears in which novel of Kiran Desai? Kiran Desai has mainly written two famous novels. That is, one is Inheritance of Loss, another is Halla Bolo in Guava Orchard. So Sampath Chawla appears in which of the novel? So the option number B here, that is Halla Bolo in Guava Orchard, appears here. So where Sampath Chawla is the main protagonist of this novel, and in Holla Bolo, that is in Sahakat Punjab. It is set in Sahakat Punjab, and Inheritance of Loss was set in the Gorkhaland movement. Inheritance of Loss was set in Gorkhaland movement, and Halla Bolo in Guava Orchard was set in Sahakot, Punjab. Okay, now move to the next question. Question number 16. A reed shaken by the wind. A reed shaken by the wind. This is a poem. A reed shaken by the wind is written by whom? A reed shaken by the wind is written by W.S. Auden, T. May, T.S. Eliot, Gavin Maxwell. So a reed shaken by the wind was written by Gavin Maxwell. So option number D is the right answer. Okay, now move to literature always anticipates life. It doesn't copy, rather it does not copy it, but it molds it to its purpose. Who said this famous line? This familiar line was told by whom? Oscar Wilde, Ezra Pound, Coleridge, Aristotle. So the right option here, that is Oscar Wilde, told this line, that literature always anticipates life. It doesn't copy it, but it molds it to its purpose. So Oscar Wilde is the right answer here. Okay. Now move to question number 18. Who said, I awake one morning and found myself famous? I awake one morning and found myself famous. Who said found myself famous? Okay. Who said this line? I awake one morning and found myself famous. So Chaucer, Matthew Arnold, Shakespeare, Byron. So here the right answer, that is Byron, is the right answer. Byron told this familiar line, that is, I awake one morning and found myself famous. Okay. Now move to question number 19. Cry the beloved country. Cry the beloved country is written by whom? Alan Paton, Nadine Gordimer's, Aldous Huxley, J.D. Salinger. Alan Paton, Nadine Gordimer's, and Aldous Huxley and J.D. Salinger. So the option Alan Paton is the right option here. Cry the Beloved Country was written by Alan Paton. Okay. France standing on the top of nature. Seeming born again. These lines are from which of the work? Prelude, Daffodils, Tintin Abbey, none of the above. France standing on the top of the nature, seeming born again. So these lines are from the Prelude. That was written, that was published posthumously after the death of Wordsworth, and it has, okay, let's have a look here. That Prelude, it has also subtitle, that is Growth of a Poet. It is autobiographical. The Prelude, or Growth of a Poet's Mind, an autobiographical poem, is an autobiographical poem in blank verse. So the Prelude was written in blank verse, and its subtitle is Growth of a Poet's Mind, or an autobiographical poem, by the English poet William Wordsworth, intended as the introduction to the more philosophical poem. So वर्ड्सवर्थ इंटेंट कर रहा था कि इसको एक क्या इंट्रोडक्शन, एक पोएम में, इस पोएम किसका नाम क्या था? प्रीलूड, क्या, रिक्लूस. इस पोएम का मैं इंट्रोडक्टरी पार्ट में क्या प्रीलूड को उधर रखेगा. So he intended as the introduction to the more philosophical poem, that is Recluse, which Wordsworth never finished. So the philosophical poem that was written by Wordsworth is an he has not completed this poem, but he wanted to include the prelude or growth of a poet's mind, an autobiographical poem, in the preface of the recluse that he has not completed. So the prelude is an extremely personal autobiographical work, reveals many details of Wordsworth's life. And Wordsworth began the prelude in 1798. So in the 1798, it was he started to write it at the age of 28 and continued to work on it through his life. But he never gave it a title, but called it only poem. To Coleridge in his letters to his sister Dorothy Wordsworth. The poem was unknown to the general public until the final version. So when did the final version publish? The final versions of this poem was published in the year 1850. So it was published posthumously, that means after the death of William Wordsworth. So the final version appears in the year 1850, but he intended to include this poem in his philosophical poem, that is the Recluse. Okay, now move to question number 21. Which of the following GB Shaw was prescribed? Which of the following was GB Shaw was prescribed because of its portrayal of sexual exploitation? Because of its portrayal of sexual exploitation. So the options are here: widowers' houses, Mrs. Warren's professions, the philanderer, buy and billions. Widowers' houses, Mrs. Warren's professions, the philanderer, buy and billions. So the option number B, that is the Mrs. Warren's professions, is the right answer here. So which of the following of G.B. Shaw, that is George Bernard Shaw, was prescribed because of its portrayal, because of depiction of sexual exploitations in his plays? So that is Mrs. Warren's profession is the right answer here. Okay, now move to question number 22. The quintessence of Ibsenism. The quintessence of Ibsenism was written by whom? The quintessence of Ibsenism was written by G.B. Shaw, Oscar Wilde, R.L. Stevenson, Robert Louis Stevenson. None of these. Okay. So the quintessence of Ibsenism was written by George Bernard Shaw, that is G.B. Shaw. So option number A is the right answer here. Okay. Now move to question number 23. The year 1776. The year 1776 was associated with. Why was the year 1776 very familiar? Because of, now the options are invention of steam engine, the Wars of Roses, or American independence. So the option number C, that is, it is the year 1776 was very famous because of American independence. American got their independence in the year 1776. That's why the year 1776 is very remarkable one. Okay, now move to question number 24. Who wrote this line, that is light breaks where no sun shines? Who wrote this poem, that is light breaks where no sun shines? So the options are D.S. Lawrence, T.S. Eliot, William Butler Yeats, Dylan Thomas. D.S. Lawrence, T.S. Eliot, William Butler Yeats, Dylan Thomas. So this was written by Dylan Thomas. So the option number D, that is Dylan Thomas wrote this poem, that is light breaks where no sun shines. Okay, now move to question number 25. Bliss was it in that dawn to be alive, but to be young was very heaven. Bliss was in it that dawn to be alive, but to be young was very heaven. What do these lines of Wordsworth suggest? What do these lines of Wordsworth suggest? Actually, these lines appear in the prelude, of Wordsworth, that was published in the year 1850. Posthumously published, but it is the book 11, where this line appears. Book 11 of prelude, in the book 11 of prelude, this line appears, where it means that it talks about the French Revolution. That is the option number B, that bliss was it in that dawn to be alive, but to be young was very heaven. So this line was suggesting the French Revolution. So it was in the book 11 of the prelude, written by Wordsworth, that was published in the year posthumously 1850. That is autobiographical poem. Okay, now come to 26. I do not like to call myself a feminist writer. I don't call myself a feminist writer. I say I am a feminist, but I do not write to propagate feminism. I do not write to propagate feminism. Who said this famous line? Was it Gayatri Chakraborty, Sachi Deshpande, Manju Kapoor, Jhumpa Lahiri? Gayatri Chakraborty, Sachi Deshpande, Manju Kapoor, or Jhumpa Lahiri? So the option number B, that is Sachi Deshpande, is the right answer here. Sachi Deshpande told that I do not like to call myself a feminist writer. I say I am a feminist, but I do not write to propagate feminism. So this was told by Sachi Deshpande. Okay, let's move to the next question. Question number 27. Which is the first extant poem? Which is the first extant poem by John Keats, the Romantic poet, which is written in the year 1814 when he was 19 years of age? That was written. Which was written 1814. 1814 साल में लिखा गया था. Which was the first extant poem of John Keats? So it is it La Villa, Damn Sans Mercy, Ode on a Grecian Urn, Ode to a Skylark, or an imitation of Spenser? So it is the lesser known work of John Keats. It is the lesser known work of John Keats. So the option number D, that is an imitation of Spenser. An imitation of Spenser is the right answer here. That was written in the year 1814 by John Keats. Okay, now move to question number. He was actually very much influenced by Spenser's Faerie Queene. He was very much influenced by Spenser's Faerie Queene. Okay, now move to question number 28. Which one of the following plays of Christopher Marlowe tells the story of the disposition of a king? That is the disposition of a king by his barons and the queen. Which one of the following plays of Christopher Marlowe tells the story of the disposition of a king by his barons and the queen? Dr. Faustus Snow, Edward II, the Massacre at Paris, the Jew of Malta. So the disposition of a king by his barons and the queen is about the Edward II. It is Edward II. So option number B is the right answer here. Okay, now next question. Who wrote the following lines? Who wrote the following lines? I am involved in mankind. I am involved in mankind, and therefore never sent to know for whom the bell tolls, or it tolls for thee. The options are: who wrote this famous line? John Donne, John Milton, Ernest Hemingway, Lawrence. John Milton, Ernest Hemingway, Lawrence. So it was told by John Donne. So the option number A, the metaphysical poet John Donne, is the right answer here. Please keep subscribing my channel SAHOO'S tutorial. I will upload continuously. Okay, this kind of videos. Okay, please try to stay with me. Stay tuned with SAHOO'S tutorial. Okay. If you like the video, please share with your friends and tap the bell icon to get more notifications about those videos that I will upload in this channel. Okay. Okay, now question number 30. An American female novelist, that is Pearl S. Buck, got Nobel Prize. So an American female novelist whose name is Pearl S. Buck, and she got a Nobel Prize in 1938 for which book? The Good Earth, The House Divided, The Patriot, Decameron. The Good Earth, The House Divided, Patriot, Decameron. So the option number A, that is the Good Earth, is the right answer. So the American female novelist, that is Pearl S. Buck, got the Nobel Prize for her work, that is the Good Earth, that was published in the year 1938. So this was the right answer. Because A is the right answer. Now move to question number 31. Who is considered as the rebel poet of English literature? Who is considered as the rebel poet of English literature? Walter Scott, Lord Byron, W.B. Yeats, John Keats. So the option number, that is Lord Byron. Lord Byron is called the rebel poet of English literature. Lord Byron. Okay, now move to question number 32. Which poetry is written by Sir Walter Scott? Which poetry is written by Sir Walter Scott? Patriotism, The Patriot, A Frosty Night, all the above. Patriotism, The Patriot, A Frosty Night, all of the above. So Sir Walter Scott wrote the work that is Patriotism. Patriotism, it was written by him, Patriotism. Okay, now move to question 33. Who is the father? Who is the American father of free verse? Who is the American father of free verse? Now what is free verse? When a poem is written in without rhyme, that is free verse. So H.W. Longfellow, Walt Whitman, Henry David Thoreau, Emily Dickinson, David Thoreau, and David Thoreau is known for transcendentalism, Walt Whitman, and H.W. Longfellow. So Walt Whitman is the father of American father of free verse. Walt Whitman is called the father of free verse in American literature. So Walt Whitman is the right answer here. Question number 33 का right answer क्या है? B है. Okay. Now move to question number 34. Who is known as the Balzac of India? The Balzac of India or Zola of India? Balzac of India, Zola of India. Raja Rao, R.K. Narayan, Mulkrasanand, Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay. So Raja Rao, R.K. Narayan, Mulkrasanand. So option number C, that is Mulkrasanand, is known as the Balzac of India or Zola of India. He is also known as Dickens of East. He is also known as Dickens of East. So Dickens of East, Balzac of India, and Zola of India, he is known for. So they are the trio of Indian novels. They are the of Indian literature. Raja Rao, R.K. Narayan, and Mulkrasanand, they are called the Indian trio. The Indian trio. And you know that Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay wrote the first novel in English literature the first novel written in India in English language was Rajmohan's Wife. This Rajmohan's Wife. Rajmohan's Wife, where Rajmohan treats his wife as a tool, as an object, as goods. Okay, now move to the last question of who coined the term third theater? Who coined the term third theater? Badal Sarkar or Sirkar, Eugenio Barba, Mohan Rakesh, Girish Karnad. So it is Eugenio Barba coined the term third theater. So and Badal Sarkar translated his theater company Shatabdi into third theater in India. Badal Sarkar wrote Ebang Indrajit. He wrote Ebang Indrajit. So these are all questions. I have discussed 35 questions. Okay. Tomorrow I will discuss another 50 or 35 questions. Okay. If you like the video, please do subscribe my channel and stay tuned with SAHOO'S tutorial and tap the bell icon to get more notifications about the video that I will upload in future. Thank you once again for watching this video. Have a nice evening.